The United States of America really doesn't like to be scammed. In fact, the government hates it. Welcome to today's edition of Fraud Files, where we'll be discussing the case of Aaron Stevens, a military contractor accused of a $15 million bid rigging scam and conspiracy to defraud the United States of America. To make sure you don't miss any of the intricacies in this narrative, keep watching until the conclusion and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon to be notified of new videos. A case investigated by the FBI's Dallas Field Office with the assistance of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas and the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division's Dallas Fraud Residence Agency, and is being prosecuted by the Antitrust Division's Washington Criminal II Section. A federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Texas has returned a count indicting a military contractor for defrauding the government by influencing bids on public military contracts in Texas and Michigan. According to the complaint, Aaron Stevens, 52, conspired with a group of co-conspirators from May 2013 to April 2018 to falsify bids on specific government contracts in order to create a false impression of competition, acquire government funds, and deceive the U.S. government. Stevens and his co-conspirators reportedly corrupted 8 military contracts and received more than $15 million from the government as a result of 2 distinct techniques. The contracts included work performed for the U.S. Army Contracting Command in Warren, Michigan, the Sierra Army Depot in Herlong, California, and the Red River Army Depot in Texarkana, Texas. Bid rigging is an illegal practice in which competing parties collude to determine the winner of a bidding process. Bid rigging is a form of anti-competitive collusion and is an act of market manipulation. When bidders coordinate, it undermines the bidding process and can result in a rigged price that is higher than what might have resulted from free market competitive bidding. Count 1 of Stevens' indictments alleges a conspiracy to limit business that began in May 2013 and ended in April 2018. White's Paint Blast, HP Logit, Stevens Service Group, and Texarkana Parts and Logistics are among the businesses named as being involved in the conspiracy by the charge. Count 1 identifies 7 allegedly fabricated proposals that were assigned to Stevens or co-plotters. Count 2 of the complaint alleges cooperation to defraud the U.S. between May 2013 and April 2018. Stevens is charged with extortion against the U.S. government from June 2019 to June 2020, according to Count 3 of his indictment. Count 3 concerns allegedly manipulated and misleading offers. The indictment claims that the proposals made by Aaron Stevens and co-conspirators 2 were, in part, substantially similar, including certain verbiage that was identical. The purpose was to ensure that a firm they co-owned, Stevens Services Group, could do subcontracting work for a company co-conspirator 2 controlled, according to the indictment. A charge of conspiracy to impede trade by fixing bids at RRAD was filed against John Mark Leverett Jr. Leverett is accused of rigging bids from May 2013 to April 2018, the same time frame outlined in Count 1 of the indictment charging Stevens. According to Bizopedia, Stevens and Leverett were both listed as officers with Texarkana Parts and Logistics until the company voluntarily dissolved. Court records in both Stevens and Leverett's cases indicate that attorneys with the Antitrust Division of the U.S. Department of Justice are working with U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Texas in the cases. A notice of punishment is not included with Stevens' indictment, though a notice of penalty attached to the information charging Leverett states that conspiracy to restrain trade is punishable by up to 10 years in federal prison. Also possible is a fine in the amount equal to the greatest of 3 options: $1 million, twice the gain the conspirators derived from the crime, or twice the loss caused to the victims. Neither Stevens nor Leverett have appeared in court, and records do not reflect any scheduled hearings as of June 2022. U.S. taxpayers deserve to know that the government contracting process is not subverted through collusion, said Assistant Attorney General Jonathan Cantor of the Justice Department's Antitrust Division. Bid rigging undermines the competitive process, wastes taxpayer dollars, and deprives businesses that follow the rules of fair competition. Investigating and prosecuting this case and others involving government contracting is a top priority for the Department of Justice and all members of the Procurement Collusion Strike Force. Protecting U.S. tax dollars and the government contracting process is very important, said U.S. Attorney Britt Featherson for the Eastern District of Texas. The government provides significant economic opportunities for businesses, and the bidding process must be fair for qualified applicants. Any action taken to thwart this fair process will be investigated and prosecuted. This indictment reflects the unrelenting approach and tenacity we employ daily in pursuing individuals who dare to attempt to defraud the federal government and the U.S. Army, said Special Agent in Charge L. Scott Moreland of the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division's Major Procurement Fraud Field Office. When it comes to government contracting and purchasing, the superbly skilled and highly trained special agents in our fraud unit use their finely honed investigation skills to combat and uncover fraud, deception, bribery, and other criminal acts. Bid rigging subverts the government contracting process and defrauds the American taxpayer, said Assistant Director Luis Quesada of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division. The FBI and our law enforcement partners are committed to investigating those who conspire to undermine the principles of fair and free competition. Stevens was charged with 1 count of bid rigging in violation of the Sherman Act and 2 counts of fraud to defraud the United States and the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Texas. Under the Sherman Act, the maximum penalty for conspiracy to impede trade is 10 years in jail and a $1 million fine. If either amount is larger than the statutory maximum fine, the maximum fine can be enhanced to twice the gain received from the crime or twice the loss suffered by the victims of the crime. Conspiracy to defraud the United States carries a maximum punishment of 5 years in prison and a fine equal to twice the amount of the gain or loss. And here we come to the end of today's episode of Fraud Files regarding Aaron Stevens, a military contractor accused of a $15 million bid rigging scam and conspiracy to defraud the U.S. We can hope that the law is here to put things right in a world that is getting increasingly corrupt and dishonest. Remember, Uncle Sam doesn't like it when his adopted children try and steal from him. We hope you found the video entertaining. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. By clicking the bell icon, you can stay tuned to our channel for more wonderful videos like this one. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts about the event in the comments box below. We'll see you again in a future series of Fraud Files. Until then, continue to follow the law. We can make the world a better place if we work together.